my understanding, and right, you're from New York. He's in Pennsylvania. How far apart did you live from State College? A couple questions here, right? When did you meet David,
Hmm.
Coach Taylor? You start going to M2 a little bit, or at some point you're like, no, I'm moving down there, and I'm going to skip my senior year. Kind of give me this whole, the backstory, and then how it played out.
I would say I'm 3 hours away from Penn State and the M2 training center, whatever you want to say. Um, And then I was always going to camps because I was 3 hours away. So my high school coach always brought us to the Penn State camp. So like I've known David, not like personally, but like I've known him, like we've seen each other, like just like when I was wrestling the dual meets, and my coaches were always in contact with them, trying to get him to do camps and stuff. And then my junior year, when I made my first world team, I was like, before that, I was like, Mom and Dad, because I already committed to Penn State, and I was like, if I make this world team, can I move up there? Like going into my senior year, I was like, can I move up there and train with David in the Penn State NLWC and all that? And they were like, yes. And then I made that world team in like May, I think it was, or it was my second world team. I think, yeah, it was my second world team. And then, yeah, things just took off from there. I moved down there and then trained with David and formed a great relationship with him.
Man, how do you, a high school kid? I'm guessing your parents stayed in New York. Did you live with
Yeah.
kids, with
No,
college
oh,
kids by
actually,
yourself?
my mom retired early because I wasn't of age. I was only 17, I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
So
yeah.
she retired early and she moved up there with me because she was a teacher. So she took a hit on like her pension, I'm pretty sure. And shout out to mom for that.
Wow.
My parents love me and I love them. So I'm really grateful for them. And she moved up there with me and then I just trained and did online school and hung out with her.
That's amazing. I'm guessing because you said you're like before that I knew David kind of, but I didn't really know him, right? But you
Yeah.
moved down there, and I'm sure he knew it. Like maybe explain the relationship and if that or how that probably developed even more so during that year.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I met him, like he's a great guy. He's always smiling and all that, and so am I. I'm full of joy and really loud, and because I'm deaf in my right ear, so I'm always screaming and stuff. And ever since we met, we just clicked, and it just took off from there. And I love Coach Taylor, and he loves me, and our bond just keeps growing every day.
Okay, and I'm guessing that friendship bond. It's like, okay, this guy can coach me in wrestling, and maybe like, but when somebody's coaching you in wrestling, and you have that tight friendship bond, there's like all that trust, and it all just kind of blends, I would say, right, and really feeds off of itself.
Yeah, for sure. Going back to this weekend, I really felt like comfortable while wrestling. Like I remember like after every break or something would happen, like I found myself looking at him every time I was walking back to the center. And I just feel like having that bond with him was really gonna elevate my wrestling and it's gonna be great.
Sure. Now, when you decide to leave your senior year of high school, move in or move down to state college, train with them to. I'm assuming the plan was just like, which it did end up happening. But was the plan also at that point also go to Penn State, or was it still some time to think? Or did you, when you moved down to a state college, you're like, no, I want to go to Penn State?
I think I might have already been committed when I was doing it. I don't really, I forget the timeline. I
Sure.
don't know. I might have been committed already when I moved down there. Uh, but I did always want to go to Penn State because it was always close to home and they were pretty, like they were pretty dominant back
Yeah,
then.
for
And,
sure.
I was always going to the camp. So like, I just wanted to go there and, yeah, it just all worked out perfectly with moving down there and making the world team and him being my coach and all that. So, yeah.
Okay. You obviously had a full year at Penn State during your redshirt. Just what was that experience like for you, and what would you take from it?
It was great, you know. I'm really grateful for my opportunity that I was at Penn State. I liked the staff and I liked the teammates there and I learned a lot, being behind Carter Storaci. I feel like some of my style now that I just developed is kind of like him, just with the pace and the pulling on the head and the fakes and all that. So Carter helped me out a lot. So did Aaron Brooks. Just everybody there. I was extremely grateful for them. So that experience was good. I got to travel a little bit. I really liked watching the volleyball team win the national title. That was a good experience there. So, yeah, overall it was good and really grateful, and we're on to bigger and better things.
Yeah. Last thing, just like with that 1 year in the room, where do you think you improved the most? On your feet, on the mat, mentally, like I don't know, it can be anything. Nutritionally, like something that you take, like, man, I really took this from that experience.
Yeah, I would just say like mature wise. I think going from a high school room to a college room, you really learn a lot. Maybe like in high school you would complain a little bit about this or you wouldn't know your schedule, but in college, like I really learned to develop a schedule, not complain so much, just get the work done, put your head down, nobody cares. And so I would say like maturity wise, that's really what I learned at Penn State for that whole year I was there. Just like developing.
Yeah. There's no denying the dominance they've had over the last decade, right? And it's no
Hmm.
secret that man they stack them, which it happened in your case, right? It's like we got a stud. Hey, another stud wants to come. Who are we to say no? So I'm guessing, what I'm getting at is, obviously Rocco's there. When did you find out Rocco Welsh was transferring in, and how'd you handle that news?
On a random Wednesday, I think it was, I found out. And I just handled it. I prayed about it, talked to my family about it, just thought it was best if I left. I'm never scared to compete or wrestle off for a spot. That's not why I left, but we can get into that whenever. But I just thought it was best if I left and go to Oklahoma State with David Taylor.
Um, I guess maybe backing up even a second, because when David took the job at Oklahoma State, I'm guessing there was no part of you that thought about leaving. It wasn't until this situation happened with Rocco.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I didn't want to leave. Uh, when he left. I mean, I sent him a text. I wished him all the best. I had a love for David, and he had an opportunity that changed his life, and I would have taken the opportunity that he did, and I understood, and I sent him a text, and that was it. And then I went back to training at Penn State, and yeah.
Okay. And then how does it unfold like, excuse me, the situation comes like, man, maybe I need to go. Is it only Oklahoma State, or was there maybe I got to go somewhere? I don't know. It was like, no, if I'm going anywhere, obviously I moved my life to train with David. Is it a no-brainer that Stillwater was a spot?
Yeah, it was a no-brainer that Stillwater was a spot. It was the first thing that popped up to my mind, just going back to the bond that I had with him and just seeing the way he turned around that program and going straight to third with like not even his recruiting class, just the guys that he had or the transfers that went there before. Just seeing what he did that year and them taking third at the national tournament, I was like, yeah, I want to be there.
Yeah.